Welcome. We are on week 7 of our 5 things successful people do before 8 a.m. book study, which means after this week we only have 3 weeks left. So I don't know if I'm going to continue doing these through the summer, but I'm going to finish this book and then we'll just see what happens. So we are on chapter 7. The title is How to Start and Maintain a Fit Lifestyle. So habit number 5 is talking all about exercise and incorporating exercise into your daily routine. This is a habit that I have been practicing for almost a year, and then before that I kind of was on and off. I would start after a pregnancy, I'd exercise for like a year, and then I'd get pregnant again, or 2 years, whatever it was, and then I'd continue, then I'd get pregnant again, and I'd stop for however long. So I've been consistently doing this since last May, so it's been over a year. I work out 5 days a week. I do give myself breaks because I can get back into the routine of doing it because it's a habit now. But I love this topic because I think it's so important to exercise. I have seen the results from it. I can feel the difference. And so I just love it. But I also think it's important to note that it has to be a lifestyle. It has to be something you enjoy, and you have to just find the time to do it. You can't just make excuses. So my husband always says oh, you're so disciplined, you do it. And I'm like, because I choose to do it. He's been saying for 8 years that he's going to exercise, and he hasn't. And I'm tattling on him. And so when he rewatches this, he's going to be upset with me. No, he probably won't. He'll probably just laugh and be like, yeah, you threw me under the bus. Yes, I did. I did throw you under the bus. So anyway, this is a habit that I absolutely love. It's something that I do continually. So it wasn't stepping on my toes. It wasn't making me, have to add things to my plate, or, oh man, I really should be doing that because I already do it. So I'm like, yes, I have a win. Anyway, so she talks about at the beginning, if you exercise for a short-term reason, she says things like losing weight for a special occasion, or to get a revenge body, or a summer body, or whatever it is, then you are less likely to stick with it than if you actually exercise for a specific health reason, or because it's good for you, because it strengthens your body. And so she says to shift that mindset into, this isn't a temporary thing. Shift it to, I'm doing this long term. I don't want to just lose 15 pounds. I don't want to just get in weight for the summer. Or get in shape for the summer. I don't want to just, get this vacation body so I can keep up with the kids. You're doing it long term, so you have those long-term health benefits. She says exercise not only keeps your physical body in shape, but it keeps your mind sharp. Physical health affects your emotional and mental health. She gives a whole list in here. I'm going to read it because I just thought it was so good. But she says on page 136, it says Americans spend $60+ billion each year trying to lose weight. And then she gives a breakdown. Diet soft drinks, $21.15 billion industry. Health clubs such as gyms, gym equipment, cancellation fees, things like that, $19.5 billion. Medical plans, prescription diet drugs, hospital or physician plans, low-calorie plans, $8.25 billion industry. Bariatric surgery, $5.77 billion industry. Commercial weight loss centers, so your Weight Watchers, $3.29 billion. Meal replacement and diet pills, $2.69 billion. Artificial sweeteners, $2.52 billion. Low-calorie and diet foods, $2.32 billion. Diet books and exercise videos, $1.21 billion. And she lists that, and she's saying this is a $60+ billion industry, when what we really need to do is change our mindset into thinking this is short term, and I need to lose this weight short term, or I just need to make this one change and it will be better. No, she's saying get it in your head that this is a lifestyle. You are changing your life because you are committing to exercise, which will lead to physical health benefits, it will lead to mental health benefits, and it will lead to just lifelong benefits for you. She says you have to give energy to gain energy. And it's so true. When I don't work out in the morning, I feel so sluggish. Saturdays and Sundays, I don't work out, and I feel so sluggish. Every Saturday, I wake up and I don't want to do anything. Usually I get up, I put my workout clothes on, I go to the living room, turn my workout on, and I do it. And it's 20, 30 minutes, and I'm done. But I feel so much more energized throughout the day. When I don't do that on Saturdays and I just go out to the living room and I, grab a protein bar and I sit on the couch, like, I don't want to do anything the rest of the day. I'm like, let's just relax today, because my body hasn't been moving. I haven't given that energy to gain the energy I need to, like, do something throughout the day. She says exercise doesn't have to be a long cardio workout, weight training, HIIT, whatever. It doesn't have to be a 3-mile run. She says it can be a 30-minute walk, it can be yoga, it can be rollerblading, a bike ride, it can be going to the park with your kids and running around the playground. It can be anything. Just commit to doing it 20, 30 minutes a day, and when you have that routine, you can extend it, but don't overexert yourself at the beginning, but also make sure it's something enjoyable. It has to be something enjoyable for you to stick with it. For me, I love my Beachbody workouts because they're all different. So I have been committed to doing that. I think I've been a member with it since like 2019. I'm not a coach for it. I don't get any payback for saying that, but I absolutely love it. Whenever somebody says like, oh, I'm struggling working out, I'm like, have you tried this? Because I have found so many workouts that I have absolutely loved, and they're all different. Like the one I'm doing right now is low impact, low cardio, and it is slow and steady, but I am sore. Like, I finished out my last one on Monday for my last program that I did was Monday. So then this is a 4-day-a-week program, and you can incorporate other things into it if you want to do 5. But I'm sore. Like today was leg day, and walking around the house right now, I'm sore. So it doesn't have to be like, you can find anything that is enjoyable to you. If it's a walk around the block, that's great. Then just start walking and like have that time of exercise every single day. But just do it with intention. Like, I'm going to do this for working out, so don't leisurely walk. Like, make sure it's like a fast pace, like getting your heart rate going and you're walking actively. She gives 5 benefits for exercise. It says it helps make you happier. It produces, so when you exercise, your body produces dopamine that, I'll have to read it to you because the way she says it is just like, it makes so much sense. It says it's scientifically proven to release certain chemicals when you work out, such as dopamine, into your brain that causes you to be joyful. And it says as we age, studies suggest that we are constantly losing levels of dopamine, and the way we generate more is through exercise. And so I don't know why. It just makes me think of they always have like the grumpy old man, like, oh, he's just a grumpy old man. Like, maybe he needs to exercise. His body needs to be producing that dopamine to make him joyful because he's grumpy, right? So he's probably not exercising. He's probably not moving his body. He's probably just sitting there watching the news, and that's why he's grumpy. He needs to get up and exercise. It helps you sleep better. I can attest to that. Before I was working out, I was not sleeping great. Once I started working out, now I don't consistently sleep great, but I was sleeping better. I noticed a difference the first couple weeks of working out, that I was sleeping better because my body was actually exhausted because I was working myself harder than I have in years. And so my body was relaxing better and I was sleeping better. And so it, like she says in this, and she'll give at the end of the book, she gives all of her resources and all of that. But if you want to read through it, you are more than welcome to. Number 3, it reduces stress. If your body feels better, so does your mind. And I think that's true too, because when I'm the most stressed, if I work out, I don't feel stressed anymore, and I can look at things differently because I have energy to actually work through problems, opposed to just sitting in them and thinking about them. It gives your body a boost of energy. Number 5, it builds your confidence. She says looking good makes you feel good, and I think that goes for, that kind of seems a little, not selfish, but we put ourselves above things, oh, I feel so good, so I, whatever. But I think that's so true. When we do feel good, then or we look good when we wear a certain outfit and we feel good, we feel confident. I think that's, the same with working out. When you're working out continually, you feel good and you look good, and so you have that confidence behind you. So besides the 5 benefits, so she gives 5 benefits, and these are pretty lengthy in the book, so if you read through it, there's a lot more built into them, but I'm kind of just giving the cliff notes here. She also gives 5 consequences of not exercising. And so she starts with, it results in early death. And she says 1 out of 10 premature deaths are caused from not exercising. And again, she gives more detail in there. She gives the scientific research, the people that back behind it. So if you want to read through that, it's on page 143. Number 2, there's a higher risk of depression. Number 3, it leads to sickness. She says a high risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and the flu are all results of not exercising. And she also says that when we do exercise, our white blood cells they produce faster, and so therefore your body isn't getting sick as much because your white blood cells are like reprocessing and all of that. Number 4, a lack of exercise leads to aging faster. We've been rewatching New Girl, so if you've watched that, it just makes me think of, we just watched the one where Jess takes her class to like the ocean for the first time, and the little girl looks at Nick and she's like, oh, are you her dad? And it just makes me think like, it leads to aging faster. But she says without exercise, our muscles and bones grow weak, leading to an increased risk of osteoporosis, fractures, arthritis, all of those things. Number 5. Okay, come here, baby. It leads to being overweight or obese. Obviously, if you're not moving your body and you're just sitting there, you're more prone to gaining weight than when you're moving your body actively and you're either your weight's steady or you decrease weight a lot. So all of those things she finishes those on page 144. And then she continues on and about how you have to stop making excuses. She says, once you stop making excuses for why you can't do it and start focusing on why you must make it happen, it will affect all other aspects of your life in a positive way. And I think that's so important because it's so easy for us to make excuses for things like, like, oh, I just don't have the time for that. Or I'm just not fit enough to like go through 30 minutes of exercise. But the reason we're not fit is because we're not doing it. But once we start doing it, you can build onto that habit. So don't start with like, I have to walk an hour a day. No, like 20 minutes. If you're not doing anything, just start 20 minutes. Go slow and steady and build up to it. And it will make your body stronger and you'll stop making the excuse of why you can't. So she goes into forming your exercise habit. And she gives 6 key steps to like forming this habit. And I think a lot of this is where the last few chapters have all kind of like segued into this one final habit of exercising. And again, I mentioned at the beginning, like it's important to make it a lifestyle, not just like a temporary, like doing it for a short-term gain. Like you have to look at it in small doses and start small and then build up to it. So she says the first thing you have to do to form this habit is to visualize your ideal body. And she says she gives this quote from Napoleon Hill, and it says, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So everything begins with a vision. She says, imagine looking in the mirror and being truly 100% content with your body and being perfectly happy with yourself. Whatever you look like in that image, she's like, visualize it. That's who you are becoming, and that's why you're doing this. You're doing it to get to there. And once you get to there, what's your next goal? What's the next thing that you want to achieve? Where do you want to see yourself after that? She talks about like, some of us are not built to be like paper thin, and then we're never going to get there. But be realistic in your vision and seeing that, okay, this is how I'm shaped. So I'm never going to be 5'10" because I'm 5'4". I'm done growing. I've been done growing for years. So I can't get taller. My bones are built the way that they are. My height is built the way they are. I'm broad-shouldered. I'm curvy. Like, all of those things are who I am. So in my ideal picture of myself, what am I going to look like with the features that I have? Am I more toned? Do I have more muscle definition? Do I have abs? Am I stronger? Those are the things you're thinking about when you're visualizing your ideal body. And then she gives an example of somebody who literally takes a picture of themselves. They cut out their face and they glue it onto their ideal body, and they hang it on their wall where they exercise all the time. And she's like, that seems silly to us, but it's having that vision, that realistic, like very detailed vision is what she wants us to have, because that's what we are becoming. So number 2, she says, develop your plan. Find what works for you. Maybe it's a late night workout or midday. Maybe it's incorporating intermittent fasting or low carbs. Write out your routine, your goals, your commitment to yourself, and don't forget it. So put it in front of you every single day. Hang it on your refrigerator, hang it in your laundry room, whatever it is, wherever you go every single day. put your plan out there. Write to yourself, like, get a calendar and put it on there, like work out at 8 a.m. or work out at 8 p.m. or work out at 5 a.m. Whatever time you can commit to it. You're going to write this plan out. You're going to stick to it. The author says she started with early morning walks and prayer time. And when she started, it was like, oh, I have to get up and do this. Oh, I have to get up. And she didn't necessarily look forward to it, but the more she did it, the more she looked forward to it. And the longer her walks got, the more she did it. For me, again, I mentioned like I love my Beachbody workouts. I do it 5 days a week. So when I finish a program, they're usually 3, 4, sometimes 5 weeks. When I finish that Friday, I look for the next week and I think, okay, what am I going to start on Monday? I don't just let time waste, because I know if Monday I wake up and I don't have that plan, I don't have what I'm going to do next, it's going to slow me down from getting my workout done. So I commit to my next program and I say, okay, I'm going to start this. And then Monday, I wake up, I put my clothes on, and I do it. I do that workout because I committed to it. She says, set your time. This is number 3 out of 6. The best time to work out is when it's best for you. So you don't have to be the 4:30 a.m. crowd or the 8 p.m. crowd. Like, find the time that works for you. For me, it's whenever I wake up. So if I've had a rough night and Ezra's still sleeping at 9 a.m., then I'm still in bed. Like, I'm not getting up yet. When I feel rested and my body's ready to go, then I get up. Usually I'm up between like 8:30 and 9. And so Ezra's up, I get him out of bed, I get my workout clothes on, and I go to the living room, and he just knows that I'm going to work out. And so he just plays and I work out. Sometimes he grabs his 1-pound weights and comes and joins me, but it's just our routine. This is what we do. I've been doing it for a year, and my kids know, like if my girls get up after me, they know, okay, mom's not stopping her workout for breakfast, so we can get it ourselves, or we can wait till she's done. And it's just our routine. That's how we do it. I set the time. I stuck with it for a year. This has been my routine, and it's worked out really well. Number 4, she says to start small. I think I mentioned this before previously too, but she says when motivation wears off, that's when habit kicks in. That's why it's so important to develop your plan, to set your time, and to see that vision, because you're working towards this every single day. And when you're not motivated anymore, when you look back at 3 weeks and you're like, hey, I've been so consistent, I've been doing this, and I'm not seeing the results that I want, that your motivation is going to kick in. You're going to stop and say, you know what, I'm not motivated anymore. I'm not seeing the results that I want. I'm just going to stop. But your habit's going to be there because you've been building it for 3, 4, 5 weeks. And so it's going to come naturally. Like, your body's just going to tell you, hey, we have to go for this walk today. We have to work out today. She says, stop looking at the hour you don't have and start looking at the 20 minutes you do. For me, again, my Beachbody workouts are usually no more than 30 minutes because I keep it that way, because I look for the programs that I can do in that time frame. The ones that are 40 minutes plus, I'm like, I don't really have the time commitment right now, but there's so many that I do have time for. And so I take that time and I make it a priority. Again, you're building a lifestyle. This isn't just a fad or a diet. It's something that you're going to continue to do and build on for the rest of your life to keep yourself healthy, to keep your brain sharp, and to keep yourself energized. She says, what you choose has to be sustainable, so start small. Start replacing, starting small, start replacing, chips as a side for a side salad or for steamed veggies. Replace a mid-afternoon snack with an apple or cottage cheese or something that's really high in protein. You're going to add these to your diet. You're going to add these to your daily habit of what you eat, because we all have the habit of eating, right? Like for us, I know what I'm going to get from the grocery store. My kids are going to have string cheese. They're going to have applesauce. They're going to have oranges. They're going to have yogurts. Like, I get that every grocery order. Like, that's what we're going to get because that's what they eat continually. Because I stopped buying the Doritos. We still have Oreos in the house. I'm not giving that one up. But we eat it in small doses. I think we've had the same pack in the cookie cabinet or in the cookie jar for, I don't know, a month. But we still buy those things. But we've swapped out a lot of the fruit snacks and junk food for something a little bit healthier, like an apple. And we put peanut butter with it. Now they're getting their protein and they're getting their apple, and it's healthy for them. And I feel good about the snacks that they're eating. But we started replacing small things at a time instead of like, oh, I have to like overhaul my kids' my kids' snack drawer. What am I going to feed them? We just started changing their habits. We started changing what they ate. Number 5, make positive declarations. And this goes back to, the chapter that she really talks about like affirmations for ourselves and speaking positively to ourselves. She says on page 151, what if you put in as much focused attention, or if you put as focused attention coming, let me just start this over. What if you put as much focused attention into what's coming out of your mouth as to what's going in your mouth in order to reach your fitness goals? And I think that, it goes back to like replacing some of the snacks that you continually eat. Like put that focus in like what's coming out of your mouth. Are you speaking negatively, but you're replacing like your good foods or your bad foods with good foods? Because if you're still speaking negatively to yourself, you're going to see the results of negative. Because you're not speaking positive, like, wow, I'm seeing such a change. I feel so much better eating these healthy snacks. And be like, wow, I just don't feel great at all. Like, this is miserable. I have to get up every day and do this. And then you're just going to go right back into your old habits. She says, your words create your reality. And then she gives, again, another scientific study about behavior psychologists say it takes as much as 20 positive statements about yourself to counteract one negative personal declaration. So again, you tell yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not capable of doing this, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not fit enough, whatever it is, one negative declaration to yourself, you need 20 positive statements to counteract that. And so instead of speaking that one, how about you just speak one positive one? Now all of those things that you've said in the past about yourself, you're adding one, all of these one positive statements, and eventually those negatives are going to be out of your mind. It says your words control your life, your outcome, your results, even your physical well-being. On page 152 and 153, she gives a list of affirmations and declarations that she uses regarding, like, for her health and body. And then she also gives scripture as well. So some of them, I am strong, I am healthy, I am in the best shape of my life, I am free in my relationship with food, I eat whatever I want to eat, and I maintain my perfect weight, I am full of energy, I am lean, I am confident in my appearance. Again, she has a whole list of them. So if you have this book, page 151 and 152, they're so good. And so if you need to like write these out and put them on your wall where you work out every day, or put them in your phone, and while you're walking around the block, read them to yourself. They're so good. Some of her scriptures, she gives various versions in here. So if you're like a version specific, you can look them up for yourself. But Philippians 4:13. It's one that is so common in like our circles. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Like, you can do this. Like, God is going to give you the strength to stick with it. He's going to make you prosperous. He's going to be the one fulfilling your heart's desires because you're obeying his command of caring for your body and all of those things. Okay, so I wasn't going to read all of those. But again, the list is so good. I probably could read all of them, and I feel like maybe they'd be encouraging to you guys, but I'm probably low on time, so I'm going to just keep moving on. Number 6, she says, don't skip a day. So every single day counts. Take it one day at a time, but give yourself 30 days of being consistent before you take a break. For me, I was so disciplined, and I told myself, like, I'm going to do this 5 days a week to set the habit, mostly because the programs that I do are based on 5 days. I had one program that was 6 days, but I just finished that like a couple months ago. So I was already 9 months into my workout routine. So it was a habit. So I didn't do the 6 day. I'd do 5 days, and then I'd start day 6 the next week. And so instead of it being 4 weeks, it went 5 or whatever it was. But she's saying, like, don't break that habit. Like, do it for 30 days consistently. If you have to walk every single day to get into the habit, then do it. Tell yourself, I have 30 days that I have to do this every single day. And after the 30 days, you can choose to take 1 day break or 2 day break, but don't take more than that. Don't take any more than a 2 day break, because now you're forming a new habit of, I don't have to do this so much. She says, be consistent with it. And I talked about in the past how, like, that chain example or that calendar where you have those X's on a calendar. Every day you do your routine, you're going to put that X there, and you have to look forward to that X. And if you break that chain, you have to start all over. So at day 30, if you break that chain, now you have to start a new 30 days. So if you haven't seen those past book studies, go back and watch them. I have them on YouTube. All of the book studies are there, but I talk in detail from the previous chapters all about, being consistent and doing that. And she says the final thing, that was number 6, but she says there's one tip at the end. And she says, prepare the night before so there's no delays or excuses. Again, I talked about how when I finish one workout program, if I'm done on a Friday, I have another one picked out by Monday, and I jump in on Monday and I'm ready to go. I lay my clothes out the night before. I put my socks, my shoes are always in the same place, and I get everything ready the night before. So when I get up, I go to the bathroom, I get dressed, I pull my hair up, go to the living room, put my shoes on, turn the TV on, and I go. Like, that's my routine. It's so structured. It took me some time to get there, but now I have it. And so she's saying lay that foundation the night before, because if you wake up that next morning, it could be like, oh, my phone alarm went off late, and so now I'm scrambling and I don't have time to find my workout clothes, and I don't know what I want to wear, and I don't know where my tennis shoes are, and whatever those excuses that come into our head, like, they won't be there because everything's already ready for you. Even if your phone alarm goes off late, that's okay. You're 5 minutes later, that's all right. Everything's already prepared for you. You don't even have to think about it. It's just there. It's ready to go. So those were all of her habits that are her, reasons, are her, the 6 key steps for forming this exercise habit. And I think that you can incorporate it to anything. It doesn't have to just be exercise. Maybe it's, replacing salty snack with something that's high in protein and incorporating that. And so you tell yourself, like, okay, I have to go through these. I have to visualize, what I want. Why am I replacing this? Or maybe it's a career change or whatever it is. Like, you can use these 6 key steps into any area of your life. It doesn't just have to be for exercising, although that's what she uses it for in this chapter, because that's what we're focusing on. So next week is chapter 8, and it's 10 things unsuccessful people do. So I honestly don't remember much of this chapter, so I'm really excited to reread it. But I'm excited to jump in next week and have 3 more weeks left of this book study. So I hope this is encouraging to you. I hope that this is a habit that you will start incorporating into your routine, because I absolutely love it. I could talk forever about exercise. I could talk forever about my workout routine. I'm not going to. I'm going to let you guys go. But thank you so much for hopping in, and I will see you guys next week.